Hello, everybody. Travis here, Tpull's Corner. Our opponent is Sassy Duck. I've been doing evil decks every Friday, so I wanted to put something out else that was kind of like lighter fare during the weekdays. So this is actually a deck that has a lot of life gain in it on a massive scale. So hopefully we'll find a little balance in your viewing entertainment. I'm not sure how much I'm going to talk through this. My friends wanted to get together last night, and they all like to smoke. And I love them, but I think they really closed up my throat. Lots of artifacts I see. I think we just go get another land. All artifacts so far. And all very cheap costing as well. Alright, let's go ahead and kick her and see if we can get another land out of this. No. Ah, there we go. That worked. Alright, we're not able to fight much. And we're going to be more than half dead. You got to give them time to think. They're blue. I think I'm okay with that. It kind of depends on what they can do here. Okay, no bounce spell at least. But they can exhaust already. It looks like they can just bum rush me to death, doesn't it? They do not. Okay. Okay, when I do a creature spell, I can destroy something of theirs, right? Yes, that feels good. Which creature do I want to bring down? I feel like this is good. And let's get rid of Roaming Throne. We will pay the ward cost. And we get to pump them up. No attacks. Kind of depends on what kind of interaction they might have with us since we're all tapped out. They're looking at us like they might want to do something. And they've got 6 mana if you count that one. And they can get through with all the haste creatures as well. And they can sacrifice this one at any time, which is a problem. Okay, they're going to try and do it. going to send the flyer over? They probably should. Okay, that's kind of a cool card. 1, 2, 3. Let's just bring that puppy down. We will destroy one of these. They like their next card. And we're pumping up 2 creatures again. And they don't have a lot of cards. Repulsive Mutation won't do me any good unless I get one more free land available. Oh good, they just drew a land. What is this card? Oh, hello. Oh, wait. I can counter the spell. I don't need anything more. I can just cast this on you and counter you. Oh, that's beautiful. That's the first time I've cast a 0-cost Repulsive Mutation. They need to have the mana equal to the creature. And even though I put 0 counters on it, they still needed 12 to counter the spell. And they tapped out to cast that. So life is good. Go right ahead. That's fine. They really can't risk attacking with anything else. Okay, perfect. Oh, this is so perfect. Okay, 7, right? We're going to bring this puppy down. We will destroy another artifact. This one, because you're tapped out. Couldn't sacrifice that to save any life. And then we pass the turn. We give you some counters. We give you some counters. No attacks. And the turn in Zamon's power kicks in, and I got a 7/7 Primo the Indivisible Token Legendary Fractal. And they don't even hang around. Final score, they have 2 more endurance points than when they started. I'm down to 6, and they still lost. Proving that life is just a number. It's what you do with it. It's what you do with your life that matters, folks. Alright, this is called The Green Life. That's the name of the deck. And I started building around 2 cards in particular. The Glint Weaver. It's a 7-cost spider. 3/3 with reach, which doesn't sound impressive for 7, but when it enters, you get to distribute +1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures. Then you gain life equal to the greatest toughness among creatures you control. So if this resolves, the worst case scenario is you can put 3 counters on the spider itself, make it a 6/6, and so you have a 6/6 creature and you just gained life for 7 mana. That's not a bad deal. If you already have a larger creature out, you can gain more life, which is why we do have some more creatures in here. Yes. The other creature I built around was the Boulder Branch Golem. It's got prototypes, so you can bring it out for 3 and a green. So for just 4 mana, you get a 3/3, and when it enters, you gain life equal to its power. If you can pay all 7, then you get 7 life, and it comes in as a 6/5. So we are creature heavy. Let me give you the overview. We've got 4.5 converted average mana cost. So it's an expensive deck. You can see 13 6-drops and only 25 lands. So we do have 1 land out of all that. 1 extra land. Over here we've got 4 copies of Bushwhack because it is important that we get a lot of land. So we've got a way to search for it if we need it. Or if we have a big creature out, we can just fight something that they don't want us to fight. We've got 1 other ramp card with Joint Exploration. Scry to draw a card. If you kick it for a green, then you can actually put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. We saw me make good use of that. I have my own Sir Ginger the Millender, just like my first opponent did. I don't know if they were Arena was trying to find like a mirror match, because I don't usually come across Sir Ginger. But Legendary Food Knight, 3/1. If the opponent controls a Planeswalker, Sir Ginger gets Trample, Hexproof, and Haste. Whenever another artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you put a +1/+1 counter on Sir Ginger, and you get Scry 1, and yet another way to gain life. You can sacrifice Sir Ginger for 2. tap it, and you gain life equal to its power. So I don't have a lot of artifacts. I have these 4, and I have the Jade Seed Stones. So we do have a handful of things we can use to pump this up. 4 copies of Repulsive Mutation. You just saw me cast it for 0 in the X, but I like to have like 3 or 4 open mana for the X. You put that many +1 counters on a target creature control, then counter up to 1 target spell unless its controller pays mana equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. So say you just have that 3/3 spider, but you got 5 mana. You use 3 for the X, 1 green, 1 blue. You're making the spider from a 3/3 into a 6/6. The opponent has to have 6 extra mana to counter the spell. One thing you have to know is it says counter up to 1 target spell, so you do have to make sure you select the correct spell, as if you don't select it and just go and click done, then it's not going to counter anything. You need to actually go click on the spell you want to counter. No reason I'm bringing that up. It's not like I messed that up the first time I played the card. We have 3 copies of Troyan, Gutsy Explorer. This is from Eldraine, the Legendary Scout. 1/3, you can add 1 green, 1 blue. You can spend it only to cast spells with mana value 5 or greater, or spells with X in their mana cost. Well, if you look, we did mention I have like 13 6-drops, right? Over here. So it'll help with any of those. It'll also help with any Repulsive Mutation. If this is out, I can cast a 0-cost Repulsive Mutation just by tapping Troyan. In the meantime, if I want to, I can just spend 1 blue, trap him, draw a card, discard a card. So if I need desperately to get that 7th land to get a 6-drop out, I can try and start fishing in my deck. Or maybe I've got too many lands and we're drawing for a good spell. 2 copies of Trigon Predator. Flyer 2/3. When it deals combat damage to a player, you can destroy target artifact or enchantment that player controls. Zimone, the All-Questioning Legendary Human Wizard. Only a 1/1, but at the beginning of your end step, if a land did enter your battlefield under your control and you control a prime number of lands, you get to create Primo, a legendary token. It's called Primo the Indivisible. It's a legendary 0/0. Then you put that many counters on it equal to the number of prime lands you have. So they tell you what some of the prime numbers are to start. It would be interesting to see if we ever go past 31. I guess we're not supposed to. But I don't know if they figured that out ahead of time with mathematics or not. 1 copy of Aetherize, so if they get cocky and send all their creatures at us, we can just return them all to their hand. 3 Jade Stones. When the artifact enters, distribute 3 +1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures you control. That is very similar to the Glint Weaver, you notice, but only for 4 mana. And then you can craft later for 7 mana, and you get a 7/7 Jade-Hearted Tenant. It's an artifact creature golem. When the creature enters, you gain life equal to the mana value of the exiled card used to craft it. So it's kind of like an Ixalan version of a Karlov Manor card. This one also, you gain life after you distribute counters. This one, you have to distribute the counters first and then craft, and once you craft, you get life. Depending on how you do things, this might get you more life overall, but it's feeding into the overall, let's find ways that green can gain us life. Tempest Heart, a nice little instant adventure to scan the clouds. You draw 2 cards and discard 2. Or you can bring it down as a 3/4 creature with trample. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, it gets a counter. That's kind of fun to use Troyan to get spells 5 or greater, put a counter on this while you're doing it, and maybe you only have like 5 lands down in the first place, but you still manage to get everything done. Zimone, Paradox Sculptor. Yes, we have another copy of Zimone. It's from a different expansion, but she's still a legendary human wizard, but instead of a 1/1, she's a 1/4 here. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control, and for a green and a blue, you can tap her and double the number of each kind of counter on up to 2 target creatures and or artifacts you control. 1 Ace in the Hole, Silverback Elder, has triple green, so you're usually encouraged to play this in an all-green deck, but we splash blue anyway. 5/7 Ape Shaman, you get 3 choices when you bring a creature down. I've got a lot of creatures, so you can use it to gain 4 life, destroy target artifact or enchantment, or in the middle there, look at the top 5 cards of your library, find a land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped. So yet another way to ramp, and I do have 23 creatures, which is a decent number. What have we not covered? The bigger cards. Vaultborn Tyrant. 1 copy of this. 6/6 Dinosaur. With trample, whenever this creature or another with power 4 or greater enters, you gain 3 life and draw a card. Notice I got that life gain theme right in there. If this creature dies, you create a token that's a copy of it, which means you trigger that gain 4 power and or gain 3 life and draw a card thing again. 2 copies of Coma World Eater, 8/12 Legendary Serpent. The spell can't be countered at all. Comes in with Trample and Ward 4. Whenever you hit a combat damage to a player, you create 4 of the 3/3 blue serpent creature tokens you see to the left, named Coma's Coil. We have 1 copy of the Pride of Holclade. This costs 11 for 215. It costs X less to cast, where X is the total toughness of creatures you control. It's a defender, but for 4, target creature gains +1, and whenever the creature deals combat damage to a player, draw cards equal to its toughness and can attack as though it didn't have defender. Now, if we use this card turns into a 15/15, but it gets the +1 as well. So I think it turns into 16/15. It's been a while since I used it, but you're drawing, even if it's just 15, you're drawing 15 cards. So you've got to be careful that you don't mill yourself out when you use this card. But you can give this ability to a different creature, and maybe you give it to like a 3/3, and you turn it into a 4/3, and you're just drawing 4 cards. So nice way to get a little bit of card draw in, or maybe it's just turning into a really big creature. You gotta chump block it to stop yourself from dying, that kind of thing. Lots of options with the Pride of Holclade. And finally, Galta, Primal Hunger. This costs 12, but it also costs X less cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control, to get a 12/12 Trampler down. And for the lands over here, we've got 1 Restless Vine stock hidden in here. So for 5, we can turn it into a 5/5 green and blue plant creature. Whenever it attacks, you can take one of their big creatures and turn it into a 3/3. 1 Demolition Field to get rid of their special lands. A couple of Fabled Passages to dig out the right color we want for basics. 1 Plaza of Heroes to save our legendary creatures if we want to. But we need to keep this untapped. It costs 3 other mana to protect it. Give a creature this legendary, hexproof, and indestructible. That's kind of an old card now. That's from Dominaria United. And 1 copy of the Mycosynth Gardens. You can spend a mana and add 1 of any color, or for X, the land becomes a copy of target non-token artifact you control with mana value X. You don't want to use this on your legendary Fractal token because it's legendary. It'll make you choose on which you want to keep. But you do want to use it on things like the Jade Seed Stones, perhaps. Or maybe on probably not Sir Ginger. Sir Ginger is legendary as well. But you'll remember, we also have the Boulder Branch Golems over here, and that's relevant for that. So we've got a couple of sneaky little tricks in there. And if the opponent's not paying too much attention, we might be able to get them with one of those. But that's the theme of the deck. Apologize if my voice is a little croaky. I'm trying to get over it quick. Normally you complain about having a high-powered, expensive creature in your opening hand. Not so with Galta. This is where you kind of take advantage of what Arena does. Arena tends to give you a couple lands, tends to give you a range of expenses, and there's a couple of expensive ones already. But if our creatures stay, if they don't remove them, Galta is going to get cheaper. They're looking specifically for a demon. A Desecration Demon. They can get that down for only 4. Not cool, man. Let's try and bring down Troyan. Not too powerful yet. What do we need? I think we need green more than anything else. So we go get our forest. We bring down Trigon because this is going to make Galta cheaper. We'll go ahead and attack. And since we do have Troyan, we can cast this next turn with what we've got. Perfect. Oh yeah. And I don't think we want to attack with Sir Ginger, so we'll just swing in over their head with 2. If they have removal, they'll have to use it on Galta. They just bring down the Desecration Demon and that's it? No, we're not going to decline any of that. Oh, we're done! Mono Black is afraid and they run away scared from life. We got an achievement. What did we just achieve? Core achievement. Arena formats. Standard Mage. Oh, 450 games of Standard. That's just a feature of playing the games. Sure, I'll set it as my default title. I'm a Standard bearer now. That one's not as exciting. You just got to play enough games. I'm sure there's tons of people to beat me to that already. If 450 games sounds like a lot to you, you don't have enough spare time. I'm not sure what to tell you. I like the game. This is one of my hobbies. I tend to play more games online than anything in physical cardboard anymore. I think we just put this down for now. Let's get a chance to draw another land instead of shuffling the deck prematurely. Ouch. What do we got? I think we're in trouble with this. I feel like I need land right away. We got everything way too expensive to start with. And they got like their perfect opening hand. We don't have the prime number, so let's just gain some life. I don't know that we have enough that we can do against them for flying. Okay, here, we don't need to crack Fabled Passage again, right? We just bring down Zimone. In the turn, we'll at least get the Fractal out. Their Air Force is just too powerful. I don't see a way around this. Yeah. The only thing we'd have is one spider with reach. We're going to leave that. We do have a couple of creatures with reach, but they're a little bit expensive. We need a little bit more time. They can't get Jet out on turn 2 and then just have angel after angel after angel. We can't do anything against that, really. Not with a bunch of 7 costing and 11 costing cards in our hand. Alright, Arena has demonstrated our kryptonite. Let's have a match that's more random and not specifically designed to kill me right away. The ramping has begun. Okay, we get untapped land for sure. This will let us put down Coma, right? In case they don't kill Troyan right away. That could be handy. Do they want to get rid of their elf right now? Go digging? It shouldn't seem like they need to go digging. I don't have much of a board state up yet. And we need Troyan, so we're not blocking. We're not risking that thing dying. If they have a giant growth or something, they could put it up front as well. Don't kill Troyan. Don't kill Troyan. Okay. Whew. Alright, we're good. Say hello to Coma the World Eater. I don't think there's anything they can do to kill that or stop that. The nice thing is, even if they put down another creature power 4 and they triple block it, we have another Coma waiting in the wings. I don't think they can block all 8 points of damage either. 3, 6... Well, if they have another Spinner of Souls, for example, they could. Oh, they want to do something. They could have just sacrificed that as well. Because I'm not sure why they ran it into my creature. Okay, based around creatures dying, it looks like. No, you can't pay the ward cost for that. Sorry there, buddy. Oh. Yeah, that has a ward of 4. You're going to pay for that. They can triple block. Are you not going to triple block? Okay, there we go. That looks fine. They lose 3. Do they get 2 triggers off the Spinner of Souls? Yes, they do. I don't think we're worried about any of that because here comes another Coma. Oh, life is so good. Oh, and Pride of the Coldclade. We only cost 1 because we got down to toughness 12. We got rid of 10 summoning cost off of that. That is beautiful. Oh, I've got to power this up. I got to power this up. It doesn't have... Shoot. It doesn't have trample. Okay. We attack with these 2? It's got to actually do the damage, right? No, let's see. Maybe only do 3. Combat damage. Okay, you know what? I misread the card. I only gained the +1 to damage. It's to draw cards equal to its toughness. It's okay, we're still having fun. Except they can fly over and hit us for a point of damage now. Who allows these things? They've been doing good on the land draws. They have some interesting cards. They kind of need a board wipe right now, though. Full Grape Worm, not bad. Not bad at all. Why are they blocking with... Why are they attacking with that? That should have been a blocker. That's it. That's lethal no matter what they do. Alright, we've got our daily chore done for the day. Simic colors are pretty cool. You get a little bit of ramp, you're able to get the big creatures out. Green tends towards big creatures anyway. They're part of the color pie philosophy. And then when you add in the life gain that's subject to power or toughness, depending on what card you got. We've also got the ability to do really big swings when we might be down on life and we just gain a massive amount of life all of a sudden. And just completely change the equation for where they thought we were. So this can be kind of a tricky deck for the opponent to come up against. And because we have such an expensive costing deck, I don't mind getting a lot of lands up front. Aether Spark cards. Gross. Let's see. Whenever it attacks, create a creature token. Only costs 1 to power it up. Aether Spark decks usually don't do that well against me, but I think these are geared towards trying to be fast. Okay, what do we want to do here? 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I think Troyan's good to bring down here. See if he survives. If so, we can bring down the Silverback Elder. Another funky art. Way too busy of a card. Okay, they're emptying most of their hand. Nope, come on through. What do we got coming up next? Sure. Hey, I needed him. Okay, so you can only do that once. Okay, I don't think we need that much land. Okay, we can put that down. Go get... Let's go get a green. And then play our regular hand for the turn. And go get a blue. And now they don't know it, but we can do an X spell again next turn, and they're not going to be able to pay for anything. So if they bum rush us, the Silverback Elder is going to take something out. Flying and Vigilance. Nope. Confirm 0. Target the creature, then target the spell. Very important to get that chain of events correct. So they lose their Sabotage Strategist, which could have ended up as a 5/5 flyer. Okay, they used that exhaust capability, which is also not enough. 3, 4, 5, 6. Not enough there. Let's do this. Putting everything on the Elder. You could argue I should have done this to Ginger instead, but... destroy target artifact or enchantments. We'll get rid of your vehicle. And we're going to sit tight. And we just need one more land. We can craft. We can gain a lot of life. I threw away 2 forests because I thought I had enough land. I actually do need 7. But that was back when I had Troyan. I didn't think they would use loot to destroy Troyan. Maybe they should have drawn 3 cards instead at the time. Six, 7 is not enough. They didn't attack with that. What a waste. Ooh, actually, I might need that. That's good. We passed the turn. Because they can't do that ever again. We don't really care about this exhaust thing, because it's only 1 permanent. They could cast it as well. Okay, when it enters at 4 mana, do exhaust. Okay, it deals X damage to any target. Was that going to end up being like 3, maybe? Or... oh, wait, they can do this. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I see what you're doing. They can activate that again? Gross. That puppy. Gain some life. I don't know that we can actually stop this guy. If they can do this each time, you can activate it those that hasn't been activated. In that case, they don't need redshift at all. They just need to keep on pumping this up. They got me. That was their little win combination right there. Okay. Aether Spark beat me. I haven't seen that combo before, actually. People are not playing a lot of Aether Spark. I needed my Aetherized card to throw them back up into the hand, but I only have the 1 handy. And it did not come up handy that time. Aether Spark seems to be complicated too. Like, they decided to just put a ton of words onto every single card. Because they're using this exhaust ability, you gotta explain the exhaust ability. And the whole point of exhaust is that you can't use it again. So, the one way we get tricked is they give us a card where it says, oh, by the way, you can ignore the limits on the exhaust ability. You can repeat your exhaust ability. So they figured out how to cheat their own newly introduced mechanic. Looks like kind of a tasty deck. Let's see if Troyan lasts at all. We're not blocking. Okay, perfect. We go for the green. We pass the turn. And we use a repulsive mutation, or sorry, repulsive mutation, say that 3 times fast, when we block next turn. Because we're going to block the Vindicator this time. It costs 3. We can pay... This is an X spell. So we can pay 2 there. So 2, 3, 4. 4. Target our creature, target the spell. We tap him by paying the 2 the base cost, the green and the blue. And now they can't pump him up. We got a 5/7, and their Swiftblade Vindicator dies. Life is good. Now we have another repulsive mutation. We can do this again. I think here we just fight. Bam. Easy as pie. And then we have rinse and repeat. Come at me, bro. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Make them pay the 3 they don't have. Make sure I click on the spell to counter it. Now they can attack with the Phyrexian for 4 more points. But I'm still alive. They did not attack. That's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. I do want more land. I'm not sure why that matters. I think we like that. I think we like that and we keep that. Yes, put you onto the battlefield. Gain a life. And done. Now, if they have another removal... Were they just doing that? Let's see, gift a card. They didn't need... That was an instant. They didn't need to do that. There's a lot of first strike and double strike involved here, isn't there? Oh, that's kind of nice. Do we... I guess we attack first. We'll get rid of their dragon engine. And then, do I bring down the pride? Or... So many options. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I feel like I bring this down, actually. Let's gain the life. It taps Troyan, but we can still afford this for just 1. Now they've got to have at least 1 removal card to get rid of this, and then they could trade off against this. I kind of like their deck. I like how they combined Brothers War and Duskborn and Bloomburrow. They've got a nice little smattering of every expansion. Oh, they got haste. They got haste, but they're not doing anything with it. We're only giving that to our flyer. They just can't match anything that we're putting up. We don't even have a creature in the graveyard we could craft with. One combat phase. 2 combat phase. Oh, I could put this in the graveyard. Aw, they didn't let me do my thing. That could have led to an achievement. Don't let people do their thing. More than ever. All right, I think that's enough games. I think we've kind of covered a lot of the deck and how it works. What do you think? Let me know. Leave a comment. We didn't quite have enough Zimones for my preference. We usually have at least one of them pop out. And for some reason, Tempest Heart is being very shy in this deck. Every now and then we do get to see an Aetherize at least. And most of these puppies are showing up, which is good because they're like 25% of the deck or whatever. So you would hope that they show up at some point. But the Repulsive Mutation is turning out to be really key in this deck. I really love the combination with Troyan, both for the ramp here to get the big expensive creatures down and to power up the Repulsive Mutation. And all of these cards are just, they work really well together. I'm really happy with the way this deck turned out. I like it a lot. So hopefully you like it. If you do, take it out. Let me know if you take it out for a spin. We've got the what do you call it, down at the bottom in the YouTube. It's probably because I went out with my friends and they were smoking and drinking all night that I can't use any of my regular words right now. But down in the YouTube box, we have the text where you can go and copy the deck list if you like. As always, we ask you to like and subscribe, and we will have something new for you next time. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.